Well, my name is Kelly, and I'm a rideshare driver for Uber and Lyft. I'd had some exposure as an instructor teaching for Kaplan. We look out for visible and invisible disabilities in students. However, in this context, as a rideshare driver, I learned a lot more about accommodating individuals with disabilities, and also being able to catch some of the signs on how to better interact with them when they're passengers in my car, and just a lot of more understanding of what their day-to-day lives are like. I'd probably say one of the biggest things I felt throughout the day, not always just in how I was thinking or the physical tasks that we were told to do, but just the loss of control, not feeling as if I could have control over what I wanted to do, control over my time, control over my feelings even. It was kind of a heavy day. It was unexpectedly emotional, so I guess an understanding of a very first-hand perspective of what it's like, and it gives better insight into how to accommodate somebody with patience, just offering to help instead of maybe just assuming that they want help or doing things for them. So just some sensitivity lessons too about people with disabilities. First, I'd start by offering to help, and seeing what it is that they would want me to do, and also spreading the word to other drivers. One thing they mentioned in one of our sessions was was modeling the behavior and, kind of leading by example. And I think those are first steps, on the road to, educating people more, especially rideshare drivers, because it's not something that we get an incredible amount of information about in terms of if we have passengers with disabilities. So, willing to see what is it that I can do to make them comfortable, or not feel, like any different from any other passenger, basically. Yeah, I even thought about how the volume I have a radio at, sometimes, and turning that down, or listening, asking them, more questions to get a better understanding. Talking slower. Coming in, I wasn't sure of what I was going to be learning, and if I was going to learn something necessarily very new, because I just thought, well, there's all this general information out there about accommodating people with disabilities, but really in the rideshare context, it takes on a different meaning. I didn't expect to learn about how service animals sit in the car, and I'd gotten like a car seat cover and all these other things, and I don't even, it's like I just learned what's right and what's appropriate and what isn't. And so that's very helpful. And some information to pass on to other drivers, because a lot of drivers, they're apprehensive and for whatever reason sometimes, and it's reassuring to say, okay, I know how this works, and so now I can be more comfortable, transporting those passengers. Yeah. I would definitely recommend this training to other drivers. It's something that I wrote it actually in my anonymous feedback form for post-assessment, but it's the fact that it takes away some of the fear and the stigma of having a passenger with disabilities. And so if you remove some of that, at least as an introduction, to say, this isn't so scary, don't be worried about it, it's not going to be a big deal, nothing crazy is going to happen in your car, then at least then it might be better for passengers. They will have better interactions with drivers. The drivers will be more willing to accept those trips, or less likely to cancel them maybe even. And not saying that drivers do that on a lot, but there can be times when it may happen. So hopefully it'll be better for drivers and passengers.